Hey scientists, it's Jessica Power at Kansas City Public Schools, one of the science curriculum coordinators. Scientists, we've worked really hard the last several weeks learning about different things in science. We've learned about energy, we've learned about the sun's effects on surfaces, we've learned about plants and plant parts, we've learned about force and motion, and we've also learned about inherited traits. Well, we are really close to Halloween. It's only a few days away. And Halloween is kind of one of those times of the year where there's all sorts of fun, interesting, sometimes creepy things that can happen. And so I thought it would be a really awesome time for us to kind of take a little break from what we've been learning in school and do a fun activity that you can do at home. And it only includes a couple ingredients. So scientists, we're gonna make today an at-home, do-it-yourself lava lamp. Now, if you don't know what a lava lamp is, I'm gonna paint a picture for you of what a lava lamp is. A lava lamp is about this tall, and the base of it has a light, just like a light bulb. And that light bulb gets turned on. It gets plugged into the wall, turned on. Now, sitting on top of that light bulb is a big jar, kind of like a tube, that's filled with two things. The first thing it's filled with is water, and the second thing that's inside of it is different colors. Every lava lamp's a different color, but different colored substance. And that substance is a lot like Play-Doh. You know what Play-Doh feels like, what it looks like? Yeah. Well, scientists, as that light bulb heats up the glass jar with the water and the substance in it that's like Play-Doh, that colored substance, like Play-Doh, starts to rise up to the top of the lava lamp. And then after a little while, it comes back down. And it has everything to do with the light bulb. The warmer that the colored material or substance becomes, the lighter it becomes and causes it to rise up. And scientists, as that substance sits at the top of the lava lamp, it starts to cool. And as it cools, it falls back down to the bottom. And then the light heats it back up, and it goes back up to the top, and then comes back down. And it does that with little bubbles of this substance. So we're not gonna create something that plugs into the wall, scientists, that uses a light bulb, but we're gonna use some common household things. First thing we're gonna use is water. The other thing we're gonna use is vegetable oil. And the third thing that we need is Alka-Seltzer tablets. Now, Alka-Seltzer tablets tend to fizz. So if you put them in water, they just cause the water to fizz. They're effervescent is that word. And then people typically will take Alka-Seltzer if they have heartburn or their stomach's kind of upset to help settle it. Well, these little fizzy tablets, scientists, are going to help us create those bubbles for our lava lamp today. So let's get started making this. And again, you can do this at home if you have these materials. So, first thing, I'm just gonna get a glass. You could use an empty bottle if you wanted to, like a Gatorade bottle or soda bottle. Either one works. And in my glass, I am going to fill it up most of the way with vegetable oil. Okay. Oil is slippery. Now, since it's Halloween, I'm not gonna just add clear water. I'm gonna put a color in it. Halloween makes me think of green for some reason. I know that we usually think of pumpkins and orange, but I always think of green. I don't know. I'm gonna stir this around, get the color all mixed in here. We'll add a couple more drops, just to make it a darker green. Okay. Stir that up. There we go. Okay, now scientists, I'm just gonna pour a tiny bit of water into our cup of oil. let's take a look at what's going on right now. Scientists, do you see something interesting happening here? I do too. I see that the water and the oil are completely separated. Do you see that? Now, oil and water, they don't mix. I could stir this around all I wanted, and the oil and water would still separate. Now, what's happening here, scientists, is that the oil is actually a lighter material or substance than the water. The water is heavier, so it sits on the bottom. If we were to add honey into this glass, that honey would actually sit below the water, so we'd have 3 different levels. Now, I'm gonna add just a little bit more water. Not a lot, just a little. I'm gonna let it sit on the bottom. Okay. All right, so we have our water with green food coloring, and we have our oil. The last thing that we have to do is add our Alka-Seltzer tablet. So I'm gonna open this up. And then conveniently, I needed it in little pieces. So you have to break up the Alka-Seltzer tablet into small pieces. It's kind of chalky, okay? And what we're gonna do is we're just gonna drop them in. Now what you'll see start to happen are bubbles. So I'm gonna carefully pick this up, scientists. So do you see those green bubbles that are floating up to the top? What's happening is that the tablet we put in, the effervescent tablet or the Alka-Seltzer tablet, it's causing all these bubbles to occur. You know, like if you get a soda and all those bubbles that sit at the top of the soda, that's the same thing that's happening here. It's something called carbon dioxide. And as those bubbles rise to the top, they get caught in that oil. And that causes these green bubbles to be seen. And we can drop another tablet in if we want to. We can drop another tablet in. Drop these in. There we go. And again, you'll see those bubbles start to move. Isn't that cool? So you can think of it as like potions or something like that if you wanted to do something fun for Halloween at home. All it takes, scientists, again, is water, oil. Vegetable oil works great. If you have olive oil, any type of oil, that will work perfect too. Food coloring, so you can get colored bubbles. And then a Alka-Seltzer tablet. And you can make sure that you chop it up and then you drop it in. So a few weeks ago, scientists, we talked about properties of matter. We talked about physical properties. And remember when I poured the oil on top of the water and they stayed separate? Well, those are characteristics of physical properties. We said that the oil was lighter than the water, so it sat on top. That's a physical property of the oil. We also could have said that the oil was a yellow color, or the water was heavier, right? These are physical properties, ways that we can describe substances. Now you'll see that those bubbles will start to settle after a little while. And we can get that going again by just adding another tablet. So scientists, you have the opportunity to make a do-it-yourself lava lamp at home. I hope you're safe this Halloween. I hope you have a great rest of your week and a great weekend. And I'll see you back here next week.